Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for attending this evening. My name is Rich Simmonds. I'll be your host and presenter. Before I go any further, I just want to tell you that NWP doesn't offer any financial advice. What I share with you this evening is all from my personal experience, and it's important that everyone understands how their funds are being used. And remember that past performance doesn't guarantee any future results. My goal is very simple, and that's to help you achieve a consistent weekly income. With NWP, you're not a member, you're a partner. And there's two ways of participating as a partner in NWP. The first one is to be a partner with a portfolio, and that means you basically have a savings account with NWP, you have a deposit, and the asset managers look after that for you and get you profits on a weekly basis. The other way to participate as a partner is to be an affiliate, and basically there you are just introducing your friends and sharing in affiliate bonuses and building the community. So those are the two ways of becoming a partner with NWP. The big differences here, and this is where I'd like us to focus on, is that NWP, there's no locking of your money like a traditional investment where your money could be locked from 1 to 5 years. There's no traps here. Traditional finance will freeze your money. They'll freeze your capital. They'll freeze even your profits for a while. There's nothing like that because NWP believes that liquidity is not a privilege like they make you believe out there. It's your right. It's your money, and you always have control of it. So why do you have to wait so long to get access to your money? In NWP, it's a weekly cycle. So the longest your money is ever tied up is for a week. Now, you always have access to your capital, and your capital can be accessed on a Friday, on a Saturday and Sunday. The trading takes place from Monday to Friday. If you want to get any sort of compounding effect, you have to physically withdraw your money and redeposit it. This makes sure that everything is 100% transparent and there's no lock-ins at all of your profits or your capital. As I mentioned, there's no penalties when you withdraw your capital or anything like that. Some systems out there will charge you a penalty for withdrawing your money earlier. That's not the case in NWP. You have absolute capital access with NWP. Now, the whole thing is that there's security through separations. What happens is that your capital will remain with the brokers. These are professional brokers, 15 years and more experience. They'll trade within the commodities markets and make the profits for you on a weekly basis. But the end of the week, that's a Friday at midnight, all profits are separated from the capital and sent to a third-party payment gateway. So it's never a case of some gray area of your capital and your growth, those sort of things. At the end of the week, you get your growth and you then decide what you want to do with it because it's at the payment gateway and you can make an automatic withdrawal and it's an instant withdrawal of that as well. So everything here is transparent and sustainable. The global engine and how the traders make that money, they'll trade on the forex markets and also assets and commodities like gold, oil, and silver. Because you have access to your capital on a weekly basis, they will use no more than 20% of your capital on a weekly basis because that's the way that they maintain the risk to be a moderate risk. It's never risk-free, but it's a moderate risk, but it's a low risk at the same time because you have access to your capital and they make sure that you can access your capital on the weekend. So there's a principle that I'd like to share with you. And, we all realize that not all of us have money. And how do we get ahead in life? And how do we get ourselves to a point where we could have a financial legacy for ourselves and our families? Well, this is the principle here. And it's all about consistency, save a little and gain a lot. What will happen here is the model that's here, and it's only a suggested model. Nothing here is concrete, and it's not the system. This is your decision, and you decide what you want to do with it. And if you miss a month, that doesn't matter. It's just no one's going to slap you on the wrist for missing a month. It's your own money. You decide what you want to do with it. But the model here that I've worked out is that you put $12 away for 60 months. Now, that's a total deposit of $720 over the 5-year period. That's 60 months, 5 years. And your projected growth over that period from your 720 capital that you would have put in total, by the end of the 5 years, you would have put 720 in if you were putting in 60 a month. $12 for 60 months, sorry. Therefore, your projected growth on that would be $5,000. That's a very nice little sum that's projected there for you to grow, and it's achievable because the results of NWP have been consistent. If you take that a little bit further and you just put in for another 14 months, $12 each month, and what you're doing here is you're taking the $12 and you take in the profits that are made, you withdraw that and you reopen a portfolio, you reinvest, you could say. It's a savings account, it's not an investment, so you can withdraw that capital at any time. But if you kept it in there and you kept contributing the $12 every month, plus your profit, you would achieve in that 60 plus 14 months, so that's 74 months, you would achieve $10,000 in your portfolio, which is a very nice little growth there. Now, when you look at the NWP system, there are 3 different portfolios that they offer you. The first being the foundation portfolio. This starts at $10 up to $9,999. That sort of figure deposited will get you a monthly target of around 5%. The traders work to a monthly target. Their target is between 5 to 10% monthly. So you could say that the maximum you would achieve on a foundation portfolio would be 10% a month, and the minimum, and this is what we've seen from the results of the last 71 weeks of trading, is that they have always achieved 5% or more. That's the foundation portfolios, that's the entry level. And then there's growth, and that's where in the last slide I was showing you how to get yourself to this 10,000, because this is where acceleration really starts in any sort of financial journey. Around about the 10,000, when you've got 10,000 in NWP, they will then target 8 to 12% a month for you. Now, when I talk about these monthly targets, you're not waiting a month to get your percentage. You get this paid to you weekly. So the cumulative total of the 4 weeks of profits that you receive will either reach 5% or 8%. And then it comes to the elite portfolio. This is $50,000 or more. And when you've got 50,000 or more deposited, you will get at least 10% on a monthly target. Now, none of these figures are guaranteed, but this is the consistent results that that NWP has been achieving over the last 72 weeks. Now, in your back office, you'll notice that there's a profit split, and this is the sustainability and the whole transparency of the system to give you peace of mind. It's all profits are always split 50-50. So when I spoke about those 5, 8, and 10%, this is what we call the partner profit. So when you look at this here, it looks a little bit confusing, but what it is the foundation portfolio in this last week received 2.74% in profit. Therefore, the partner with the portfolio, that means the person with a foundation portfolio who's looking for 5% per month, that would have been 1.37% for the week, which then, if you're looking at the minimum that you were looking for, if you were trying to get 5%, that would be 1.25%. So it just shows you those are the results, and you'll see this in your back office every single week. This was the results for week 72. We're now in week 73, and we'll get the results from week 73 at midnight tomorrow night. So that's the way it's done. And what happens is the 50-50 split works as follows. 50% of the week's profit goes to the partner who's got a deposit, and the other 50% goes to the business volume that sustains the business as well as the affiliate plan. And we'll talk a little bit about the affiliate plan this evening as well. So those are the way the profits are handled. It's always transparent, always sustainable, so you know exactly what's happening on a weekly basis. Now, this weekly cycle that I've been talking about works as follows. You would start, you put your money into your back office. When it's in your checking wallet, you put it into a portfolio. This starts the whole process. The traders will then trade for you from Monday to Friday. This is generating the profits using the Forex, gold, silver, and oil commodities. And that's in general. They can trade anything. They're professional traders. So they're not limited to what they can trade, but that's typically what they trade. And the reason why they trade that sort of thing is that it's quick turnaround of money. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for you a profit on a weekly basis. So those profits are then separated on a Friday night at midnight and sent to a third-party payment gateway. Once they're in the third-party payment gateway, regardless of how much you made, if you've got $5 in the payment gateway, you can make a withdrawal, and that's an instant withdrawal, and then that'll get sent to your crypto wallet. Now, what we suggest here is that you use a private crypto wallet, not an exchange, because at an exchange, unfortunately, you don't have any control over your money. And also, if you by mistake send the wrong coin to the exchange, you could have a problem. They might say, well, we don't accept that, and you've lost your money. So always have control, put it in your own crypto wallet. A private crypto wallet will handle any single token that you send to it. It's just a matter of selecting that token in the wallet. So you never lose it. You've always got control. And even if you did by mistake withdraw the wrong token, you can always swap that for something you need in your crypto wallet, but you haven't lost it. That's the main thing. Now, once you've got your crypto and you decide, then it's your money, it's your decision, you decide what you want to do. And that's the whole process. It's always about, on a weekly basis, you're making a decision what to do with your money. It's always your decision. To get started, it's very simple. You just register yourself an account, you deposit the crypto, you open a portfolio, and on a Saturday, you will receive those profits in the third-party payment gateway. The following cryptos are accepted. That's USDT on the Ethereum network. Then there's BNB, USDT on the Binance network, also USDC on the Binance Smart Chain. And then there's Polygon USDT. Any money that you've deposited before Monday midnight, and that's UK time, but if you're in South Africa, if it's done before Monday midnight, perfect, you will still get profits that Saturday. If you do it after Monday, you'll get profits the following Saturday. Now, I mentioned you're always in control, and this is the process. There's no internal rotation of money, meaning you can't do an internal transfer to rotate your money inside the system to get a compounding effect. You actually have to physically withdraw your profits, because the profits are always separated from the system and they at a third-party payment gateway. So you'll make your withdrawal from the third-party payment gateway. That's a manual withdrawal into your crypto wallet. You then decide what you want to do. If you did want to put it back into the NWP system, for instance, that will be a manual deposit back into the system. And once it's in the system, you then open another portfolio for yourself. It's in your same account. It's just every time you make a deposit, it's called a portfolio. And that portfolio then generates profits for you on a weekly basis. When you want to withdraw, there's two options to withdraw. There's either Polygon USDT or BEP20, Binance Network USDT. And the minimum withdrawal on the Polygon network is $5. The minimum withdrawal on the Binance network is $10. And those that they're not on the Binance network, it's just that's the Binance protocol of USDT that's available. So, and then there's 5% fee on all profit withdrawals and bonus withdrawals. 5%, just to give you an example there, if you're withdrawing $10, 5% of $10 is 50 cents. Therefore, you'll receive $9.50 in your crypto wallet. When you make capital withdrawals, you can do that on a Saturday and Sunday, and there's no lock-in. It's quick, easy. It's not an instant withdrawal. It will take a little bit longer than the instant withdrawal, but it's not a long waiting period. Typically, the withdrawals can take anything from 1 hour to 6 hours, and sometimes a little bit longer. Remember, the reason that it takes a bit longer is that your capital is with the brokers, and if the system doesn't have enough, they will need to get that from the brokers, which could mean that the reason why it's taking a bit more time. So that's not an instant withdrawal, but it is available the first time you take your capital out. There's no fee on the first withdrawal. And after that, anytime you withdraw capital, that's 2% fee. Remember that any money redeposited into the system is also capital. So just to clarify that. When you need support, it's available on the WhatsApp chat. The girls are based in Canada. They're very fast and efficient. The WhatsApp chat is definitely what I would suggest. I contacted them about an hour ago. I needed to change someone's details, and it was done immediately. If I'd done that via email, I'd probably still be waiting. It's just that WhatsApp is, that's the latest technology. It's quick, it's easy. You get a notification on your phone. You can do it from your phone. It's a lot easier than email. So that's what I would suggest. The website of NWP is NW Profits. That stands for networkprofits.com. The company itself is based in Istanbul in Turkey, registered there, and their offices are in the Trump Towers. Now, to help you get started, we've put together this little link tree. And in actual fact, today I updated the link tree and put the calculator on. If you haven't heard about the calculator, we'll probably show you a little bit at the end of this meeting when we're in the questions and answers. I'll just show you how that works. It is available. You can simply go onto the link tree and download it from there. Right, and there is the quick way to get the link tree. Just scan that QR code and the link tree will open quickly for you. Right, so that was the first part of the presentation. That's what we call partners with portfolios, the people that effectively have a savings account. Remember, it's like a savings account, but it's probably better because there's no fees on your savings. There's no waiting period when you want to withdraw your profits or your capital. It's all there. It's your money. You have total access to it. So let's have a look at the affiliate plan. And this is, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, where you can actually make a little bit of money. It's where your network truly becomes your net worth. Now, the interesting thing about the affiliate plan is you don't have to have a single cent in the system to be able to earn from the affiliate plan. So, so often we find people that are struggling that just don't have the means to put anything into a system. So the affiliate plan gives you that perfect opportunity to build something for yourself through building the community. Remember, everything's built on trust in this system. It's 100% sustainable. And again, the reason why it's 100% sustainable is that profits are generated on a weekly basis, and anything in the system, any of these bonuses that we talk about, are only paid from the weekly profits. They're not paid from someone else's deposit. So you're not getting any upfront bonuses. There's no, the company's not going into credit or into debt to pay you a bonus. It's only coming from the weekly profit that's generated, and that's from that 50-50 split. So everything's sustainable and built for the long term. The first way that you can earn from the affiliate plan is the direct bonus. And this works very simple. You refer someone, whatever profit they make on a weekly basis, you will earn 15% of the profit they make. It's paid to you from that business volume. It's not coming out of their pocket. So just as an example, if your referral was earning $80 for the week, your 15% would be $12. And as I mentioned to you earlier, if you were looking at that $12 a month investment savings idea, well, there would be a way to get that $12 for yourself to be able to get yourself into your 12-month consistency. The next income stream is the binary income. This is 15% of the matched business volume from your two teams. The matched business volume effectively means it's your smallest team. That's where you'll be paid from. The only thing about the binary income is it is capped at $5,000 a week, but it really is the power of leverage that you're experiencing with the binary income. Now, to be qualified for the binary, you would simply need a team on your left and a team on your right. Spillover volume also counts, meaning that you don't have to put people in both of your legs or both of the sides of your business because you have a left side and a right side. Now, how the business volume is calculated, and you would have heard the business volume, but the weekly profits determine that business volume. So the business volume is effectively equal to the profit made by that amount. So the business volume, and from that 50-50 split, if someone made $10, then as a profit, $10 would have gone to the business volume. So that's the business volume. Business volume is equal to $1. So there's no fancy calculation that's needed to convert business volume into the bonus volume or the dollar volume. It simply is the dollar volume. It's just called the business volume. And you will earn 15% of the matched business volume generated in your smallest leg. That's the binary income. Now, just to give you an example of how you could be binary qualified, here we have Max. He introduced Joe. However, he didn't introduce Erica. Erica is what's considered spillover. Where did Erica come from? Well, the person who introduced Max typically could have introduced Erica, or someone above Max in the team could have also introduced Erica. What happens is you join in a chronological order. So if Max joined before Erica, that's the reason why Max is above Erica in that ladder, because you can only put people on your left or the right. So if Max's sponsor or the upline from Max decided to put someone in on the right, that's where Erica would have gone, just like when he decided to put Max in. It would have been on his right. It couldn't have been on his left because, and this can differ in your business from either the left or the right. So always ask where your potential spillover leg is, or sometimes it's called the power leg. Just get clarity on that so you know where to put people, and you can then put your people in the opposite leg to the spillover leg. So to be binary qualified, you might see already in your business, when you look at your back office, that you've got volume on either your right hand or your left hand side. You don't know those people. And the reason why you don't know them is that they're not your direct referrals. They are what's known as spillover. So if you do see spillover, let's say in this example, you're seeing some volume in your right hand side, will show there in the back office, it'll say deposit right. Now, that's not your deposit. Your deposit's in your portfolios. The deposits that you see in your back office on the left and the right-hand side, that's your team. So if you see something on the right, and there's some dollar volume of deposit on the right, that means that you've already got some volume on the right. All you need to do is introduce someone on your left. When they open a portfolio, you are automatically binary qualified, and you will earn those 15% bonuses on a weekly basis. And as your business grows, you'll just earn more from the binary, because that's the way it works. And as I mentioned, in this case, all you had to do was introduce someone in the left-hand side. It could be in your business on the right-hand side. It just depends where you need people and where you need volume. We're talking about people, but it's not about how many people you've got. It's about how much volume in dollar deposits. That's how the binary is calculated. So that's the way to become binary qualified. The next bonus that you can earn is the matching bonus. And the very simple way to understand the matching bonus is simply when your referral, the person that you brought in, when they start earning the binary themselves, so they would have gone through those last steps that I showed you, when they start earning, you will earn 5% of whatever they earn on the binary. Then the next level down is the referral of those partners. You will earn 5% on them as well, and then 5% on the level 2 partners. That's the referrals of your referrals referral. And that's the 3 income streams. This is basically given to you for duplication or leadership in just helping other people in your team become binary qualified and start earning the bonuses for themselves. Right, so when you're ready to get started, remember there is the little link tree that I was talking about. There are referral links in your back office. You've obviously, when we talk about getting started here, this is getting started with the affiliate plan. And remember always to tell the people, give them an example of how they could potentially grow their money using a very little, like $12 or $10 is the minimum. They don't have to do it every single month. There's no commitment. There's no subscription. There's nothing like that. It's completely their choice what they want to do. But it's just a suggestion. And that's the way to get started. And, you know, when your team grows, so will your earnings. Right, so that is my presentation for this evening. If you do have questions, let's have your questions.
You tell me, I was seeing some comments about the new calculator. What's the difference between that one and the previous one?
Basically, between this calculator and the previous one, if you might have seen it, is we've now added the weekly profit. So what you can see is wherever you get to, whatever, it has different milestones here, but the new milestones give you the weekly profit when you reach it. So if you had $80 in your portfolio, for instance, you'll be earning $1 a week. And then you can see here as you go up and you get closer to the bigger numbers, the profit just goes up. And then there's also a rand value here for those who are in South Africa. If you were in another country, you could simply just change your rate here to the dollar so that it would give you your currency. But how this works is you will just enter whatever you want into the yellow cells here. So you would, if you were doing that $12 picture, you know, as I showed you in the presentation, here's $12. You're going to add $12 a month. And by the 5-year period, you've actually got 5,230. What this calculator does is it takes off that 5% withdrawal. So that's been put into it already. The fees have been worked out. And this is as close to accurate as possible. When I say that, obviously things fluctuate. So a better week like this last week, for instance, 1.37% will mean that your growth is a little bit better for that week than the norm, which the norm would be around about 1.25 on this calculator. So those are the differences from the previous calculator. As for you,
okay, and I see this one also goes beyond 5 years. It goes up to 10 years. What about the years in between 6.5 and 10?
Well, I just sort of, for space and for practical reasons, I just put 10 there so that you could see what the jump is. Because I know, you know, when we talk about here, you might find that this is remember that this, if you, let's say you started with 12 and you're going to add 12, when you get to 5 years, you might decide, well, you're going to change things. So I don't think anyone will, you know, it just gives you a nice sort of projection. But I mean, in reality, what you should be doing on a monthly basis or even on a weekly basis is when your capital changes because of the new week, then put your total in here. So if you were making, let's say, another $12, and you'd added the 12 and you've got some profit, so you might have 25 starting the new month, for instance, and then you can see how long it's going to take you to get to your target, because that would move things according to how much is in your initial. And it just makes it a little bit more accurate, because then you're giving it a real figure, as opposed to thinking, oh, I started a year ago with $10 and I've been adding $10, and well, you could look at that, but it would be more accurate if you put your current portfolio value in there and then what you wish to do in future. That would make it a little bit more accurate.
Okay. Rich, I see you basically doubled the starting amount, and it made a lot of difference in the 5-year. But how much would I need to put in to get to, in my case now, I might need to retire by then. And let's say I aim to have 10,000 and withdraw, what is it? What would the profits be on $10,000?
Okay. It's about 200. Here you can see. So there you can see there's 10,000. That's at 6 years, and you there on that amount you're getting about 212 a week. Yeah.
Okay, but if I want to be on 10,000 at say 5 years or even earlier, how much would I need to put into column A3, that initial deposit amount? How much do I need there to
You
get
mean
to 10,000 in 5 years from now, or even 4 years?
Okay, so let's have a look. Let's keep the $12 per month, and let's see
Yes.
what we need to put in here, so that we can get there in 5 years' time. So let's just start with 200, and
No,
that would give us, we're close. It's 9,200 if we start with 200 and we add $12 every month.
yeah.
So let's add a bit more here. Let's go 225. Let's see if that'll do it. 9,700. So we're getting closer. Let's go 250. See if that will work.
There we go.
There we go. So 250. Start with 250. Add $12 every month. That's about 198, 200 Rand, you could say, and you will have $10,000 in 5 years' time.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And also, it might be a good idea to employ a bit of inflation on your $12 a month over the years, as you get salary increases or something like that.
Yes, sure. Yeah, that's why I say, when you're putting this in, so in a year's time, you might say, well, okay, let's say in a year's time, you've got $641. So you would, that would be about, let's say you've got 650. And now you can have a look at that again and say, well, you've got 650. I'm going to get there in 4 years. So I'm still on target. But let's see what happens if I put some more in here. Let's say I put $20 a month. Well, then I'm going to get there between.
Makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it does. So somewhere between 3.5 to 12 years. Now, if you want to check it exactly, you can actually go to this tab up top here called Reinvest Profits, and then you could scroll down here. Just don't change anything on here, because then any changes made on these sheets will definitely skew your values. But if you're going to, let's see where it becomes 10,000. So you can actually go and scroll here and look, and it's on week 195 that you actually reach 10,000. And you can see here, this is, you've actually put in how many dollars extra? You haven't even put in extra dollars. It's just from the growth. Let's see. your percentage. What did you make on a profit share? You made 124. So you added the 124 to that. You didn't put anything extra in there, but notice the jump from $124 to $201. And that's because you're now in the 10,000 range and you're earning 2% as opposed to 1.25%.
Per week, obviously.
Yeah, per week. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
But it's always better to stay on this page, so that you don't type anything on the other pages by mistake. And of course, if you think that you've done something, just download a new sheet for yourself and start again, That's always the safest.
So it looks like a combination between the initial deposit, a higher initial deposit as time goes by, which it will become higher from your profits anyway that you reinvest. But it might be a good idea to increase your monthly contribution as time goes by and as you can afford a bit more money, isn't it?
Yes, and then remember that this calculator only takes into your deposits, and your profits that you make on your personal portfolio. But if you were earning something from the affiliate plan, you could always say, well, I'm going to add $5, and that's what I'm earning. So here we go. You've added $5, and that $5 extra a week that you're earning from the affiliate plan is actually going to bring your total closer. So your affiliate bonuses, you would know how much you're earning on a weekly basis, and that'll give you a little bit of help. All the little bits help to get you to your target.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time and thanks for your effort for building this calculator for us.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just me. It was quite a couple of people. So, yeah.
No, sure. But dankie nogmaals.
Pleasure. Good. Right. So that is our calculator. As you can see, they're very simple to use. We often wonder, will our money make any difference? And I mean, you can go and look at the 10 years, and you can really you look at it when it gets to the 10,000, and when it gets to the 50,000, then things just go wild and quick.
Wild is the word.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that calculator is available on the link tree, so you can download it there. And we look forward to seeing, and we always look forward to Saturday. So yeah,
I was going to say, I can't wait for Saturday.
You can't wait for Saturday, exactly. Yes. So there we go. All right. Well, do have a good evening further. Thanks for joining me again, and I do hope that you've been a little bit more enlightened about NWP and the system.